Good day, everyone. To you, my dear classmate, and our respective teacher, good day. So in this lesson, we are going to tackle about the curriculum design. But before that, allow me first to introduce myself and my company for this reporting. So they are naming Cabaltera Jesus, Junicio Mark Jan, Kayao Mary Ann, and George Rolly. I am John Paul Asombra, and we are the third year college major in science. But before we start, I want to give you a meaning of the curriculum design dahil dito po mag-iikot ang ating discussion. So curriculum design, it is refers to the systematic arrangement of the element of a curriculum within a course or a program. So here the educator or the planners takes into consideration the following elements. So the first one of that is the aims, goals, and the objectives, right? So it contains strategic plans which gives them a clear picture of how and when these goals are achieved by making use of the available resources. The second one is the subject matter. So this talks about the particular or the specific content which covers the necessary skills and knowledge of a learner should be acquired, which also is relevant to the science of time. And the third one is the learning experiences. So in here, the curriculum employs innovative and interactive learning activities or methodologies where the learners effectively engage and at the same time from those activities in which are still aligned in the curriculum. And lastly is the evaluation. Its purpose is to conduct an assessment and feedback would be weighed into the test the effectiveness of the curriculum. So a lot of the educational or readings that are confused that the readers, the difference between the curriculum design and the curriculum organization. So to have it foster classified activities of the arranging curriculum into the macro and the micro level of arranging curriculum contents. So the former refers to the comprehensive view, which can be broken down from the philosophy of the contents of the different disciplines, or simply refers to as a function of a curriculum design, while the latter is about sorting out the content of the specific design or specific discipline. In short, it is a function of the curriculum of organizations. One thing you should have to take note is that the curriculum organization is dependent on the curriculum design, such as the curriculum design give the life into the school or the teacher's philosophy of education, which is purposely enacted and vertically integrated. All right, now let us proceed to the different curriculum design. And the first one of that is the subject-centered design. So it is revolved around a particular subject matter or a discipline. So it is the most popular among the four types of the curriculum. So once we said subject-centered design, it is practice. So we are allocating teachers, or when we say teachers allocating their time for the different scope of the subject. So for example, the teachers in mathematics and teachers for English. So they are allocated their time to master the learning competencies of the subject matter. All right, so we also practice this in our country, which is the Philippines. So most of the schools also uses this subject-centered design. They are aiming for the excellence and the specific discipline content. But this subject-centered design, it is not a student-centered, all right? So subject-centered siya, kaya hindi siya student-centered. So the first one of that is the subject design. So the learners are just the receiver of the information from the teachers. So it is focused mostly on the teachers and how they deliver the general knowledge about the subject or the subject matter. Alright, ganyan. So sa subject-centered design. So ibig sabihin, nag-aantay lang sa estudyante kung ano yung i-fit sa kanyang information ni teacher. Alright, so for example, in the elementary level, we have thought about the general knowledge about mathematics. So, dyan pinag-aaralan natin yung addition, multiplication, division, and subtraction. So, in English, teachers only have taught the noun and the verb. So, in the Filipino, they are taught about panlapit or lapit. And we are taught about the general knowledge only without integrating or focusing deeply on the learning or learning deeply about the said discipline or the subject. So we have here the academic discipline design. So this design is related to the uh, subject design. And the second one is the academic design. It is a move to the higher to a discipline when the students are more mature. They are mature already, so moving towards their career path. So basically, in the college level, we're in as we are now in the college, there is a different curriculum per the different courses or different program. So because they are taking a different discipline, they are also focusing on a different discipline of learning, different discipline of different courses that they have taken. So, for example, the education students, they are learned about the different curriculum with the no. On the other hand, the engineering are also learned about different curriculum also that aligned with the engineering subjects. So that is the academic design, which means na kung ano yung iyong pinag-aaralan, ayun dapat yung itinuturo sa iyo ay naka-inline doon. So pwede rin nating gamitin si academic design para doon sa mga senior high school because senior high school has a fourth strand which is the ABM, EUMS, General Academic Strand, and TVL. So doon kapag sinabi natin itong ABMs, syempre ang pag-aaralan na doon about businesses o di ba mga ganyan. And then kapag sinabi naman natin sa nasa UM sila, ang pag-aaralan din syempre nila doon about related to science. So pwede nating i-apply si academic design sa mga senior high school student. Alright, so next is the integrated design. So this curriculum design is based on the principle that learners learn in an integrated manner. Thus, this type of curriculum design tries to merge two or more related subjects. So ano bang gusto nitong sabihin? So during the integrated design, the teachers are connect different ideas, different areas rather of the study by cutting across the subject matters line and emphasizing our unifying concept. So it is focused on making connection for the students to allow themselves in engaging and relevant and meaningful activities that can be connected in the real life situation. So the number one of that is the interdisciplinary. So interdisciplinary integration, it includes the merging of two related discipline or two subjects na so, big sabihin, two subjects na no more than two. So, big sabihin, dalawa lang talaga. So, for example, is we are referring to the science and health. Daw ay interdisciplinary. So, paano ba natin malalaman ang about health kung hindi natin pag-aaralan ang science? So, ayun po yung connection nilang dalawa. So, kailangan muna natin pag-aaralan si science para maunawaan din natin yung health. Ayun ang interdisciplinary. So, big sabihin, pinag-merge na dalawang subject or related discipline. Sa multidisciplinary naman guys, ito is a combination din also ipinag-merge ng more than two subjects. For example, the history, economics, and the geography. So these three subject matter or the is related to each and every one. So yung mga discipline na ito is related, no? Si history related po siya kay economics and related din siya also kay geography and they are also related to each and every one. So ganon, sa multidisciplinary, kung sinabi multi, ibig sabihin marami. And then the last one is the core. It is integrating, it is required that all subjects or disciplines in the school curriculum to be put together using a single theme. So in this curriculum, teachers, they organize curriculum around the students' questions and concerns, and the students develop a life skill as they apply both the interdisciplinary and multidisciplinary skills in the real life situation. So parang the best examples nito yung mga toddlers o yung mga kindergarten na nag-aaral sila. They are learning about themselves, so about their family and the community and the single thing. So they are using the theme about the learning, all about where in their activity is the curriculum using the integrations of the community and the family and themselves. Okay, number two is the learner-centered design. So it says here that it is focused on the needs, the nature, and the interests of the learner in the curriculum. So ibig sabihin, ito ay kabaliktaran ng subject-centered design. Dahil kanina sa subject-centered design, the curriculum is focused on the teachers. No? On the other hand, the learner-centered design, it is focused on the learners to develop themselves, to show what are their strength or what are the skills they have. So ito po ang learner-centered design. So the number one of that is the activity experience design. So this concentrate on the activities that are meaningful and interesting to the learner. So ayun, maganda yon na magkaroon ng mga activities tulad ng sabita kasi sinasabi rin natin na ang every students they have a different learning style, and one of that is the bodily kinesthetic, which is ayan gawa-gawa na activity. So kapag ganun na nagpe-perform sila, nakukuha yung o na ano yung kanilang interest doon, at saka mas maganda na ipapakita nila yung kanilang mga skills. So that is the activity. And then number one is the humanistic design. So the curriculum is composed of topics and learning experiences that focus on the holistic development of an individual. So it is also addresses the needs and the nature of the learner. So once we say humanistic, it is the focus about the holistic development of an individual. So, the goal of this design is to develop a well-rounded individual, yung ating mga learner. So, in this design, it doesn't only focus on one's skills, but it focuses on developing a child holistically. So, this design is focusing on the development of a self as an ultimate objective of the learning. So it stresses on the whole person of the integration, not only thinking but also feelings and doing in the curriculum. So that the teacher should have an activities that helps to the students to discover who really they are, not just shaping them or developing their skills, but shaping them into a well-rounded individual. So the next one is the problem-centered design. So that is basically made by our faculty or our teachers in order for the students develop the capability and the skills in finding solutions into the issues and problem arise in our society. No? So the first one of that is the thematic design. So this design is suggests that the thematic approach to integration is similar to multidisciplinary or a broad field, which focuses on the integration of basic disciplines like mathematics, science, and the other subject. So basically, the thematic it is a curriculum that promotes high-quality learning through engaging topics, which is a sequence, no, say sequence to provide a clear framework of progression and skills and the knowledge to equip children for the next stage of their education. The best one example that I have seen for this is the spiral progressions that we have used in our current curriculum. Wherein, for example, in teaching science, in learning biology, so during grade 7, the teachers tackled about basic, no? And then the second year, third year, and fourth year, the topic becomes more complex. No? Doon na mas pinag-aaralan. Habang tumataas yung ating grade, so mas naghihirap din yung topic na pinag-aaralan natin. So that is the thematic design. How about the problem design? It is a design that where the learners are exposed to the different lessons and problem solving into the real life situation. So meron po yan sa ating mathematics, sa statistics and probability, the real life situation. So doon. So in this curriculum design, teachers or the faculty members are creating activities that enable to the learner to create or to solve problem either in the society or in their community. And some of the activities includes the practical situation or issues about the community. So the example of this is the thesis action plan, now where they are going to research about the problem or to learn something about the facts on the problems that arises or that they are going to resolve rather and to provide a solutions or recommendation about the problem in their society or in their community. And lastly is the core learning design. So it is focused more on the learning, a set of the common subjects, disciplines, or the courses, skills, or the knowledge that is necessary for the students to master or to learn what it is aimed to have a uniform types of the educations based on a certain philosophy or educational theory. So it aims to provide an education that is transformative and relevant to all type of the learners and to develop a habit or mind or cultivate the critical and creative thinking of the students that can employ in their everyday life. So the number one of that is the core design. So this is a set of the common subjects, disciplines, or courses that are required for the students to study before they graduate or move to a different level. So for example yan, hindi ka pwedeng undergo ng grade 2, grade 3, grade 4, grade 5, grade 6, and so on kung hindi mo pagdadaanan o hindi mo kukunin ang isang subject. So for example, dati ang subject dati is English, Makabayan, Filipino, and mathematics. So kapag isa dito hindi mo kinuha, hindi ka pwedeng mag-proceed ng grade 2 kasi yung basic ay pinag-aaralan doon sa mas mababa. So paano mo matututunan ang isang subject doon sa mas mataas na level kung hindi mo pinagdaanan ang kanyang basic? So ayun ang sinasabi dito, required na kunin mo muna yon bago ka lumakdang ba yan, ganyan, bago ka makakapag-move doon sa another stages or sa another level. On the other hand, the nature core curriculum theory, so this is the set of the subjects or courses that are required to be taught in the all students across the country. So, ibig sabihin dito sa National Courses Curriculum Design, so dito na papasok yung tinatawag nating mga curriculum guide or yung syllabus sa college. So, ibig sabihin, kahit magkakaiba man tayo ng university, magkakaiba ng institution, magkakaiba ng school, so may isang pinapairal dyan na curriculum guide or syllabus na dapat sundin nang sa ganun ay mayroong uniformity na tinatawag doon sa within our national core. So, ayan ay nilalabas ng DepEd or ng the Commission on Higher Education. Alright, so these are the things in considered curriculum. So now we have the two major forces to be considered upon designing curriculum. So they are the horizontal organizations and the vertical organization. So curriculum is a blending or the combination of the curriculum elements like the subject matters or the discipline. So in the matter of the horizontal organization says that there is a similarities in the subject matter and the discipline taught to the students across the different classes, but the same course. So what I wanted to say is that what I studied in a particular courses in an institution, it is same with the others, with the similar classes already. So kung anong pag-aaralan ko, ganun din ang pag-aaralan ng iba kahit nasa iba silang institution. So on the other hand, the vertical curriculum, it is a sequencing or progression of the curriculum elements. Try to think of the different words as being arranged in the vertical manner. So from top to bottom, from vice versa. So these are the terms should be relevance in the progressive manner. So that you are going to do is to understand how and why one term is above or below. So to the other example, you may think the word philosophy, Philippine history rather, Philippine history, world history, and Asian history. So you can start and absorbing and conclude that there is a progression to the level of the difficulty among this a concept and the reality. So the Philippines history, as when you kung natatandaan nyo pa, the Philippine history that is taught on grade 7 and the Asian history that is taught in grade 8 and the world history that is taught in grade 9. So it means the vertical curriculum listeners are taught from simple to complex concepts. So ibig sabihin parang spiral progression din ang nangyayari sa vertical organization. So all in all, the horizontal and the vertical organization, they are play as a vital role in the curriculum design. However, I would like to emphasize on this that no one is better than the other. They are just arrangement where which are often is not always both present at the same time. Now down to the last topic, which is the sequencing curriculum content. When we say sequencing in curriculum, it is a sequence include the plans and the materials for the learning experiences to support and extend children's learning at a various level of development, and that is according to Print 1993, and says that sequencing curriculum content that is essentially in curriculum design. So sequence, it is defined as the order in which contents are presented in the learner's print. So also identify the following principle that the most commonly used to sequence the curriculum contents. So these are the simple, complex prerequisite, learning, and the chronology, multi-part learning. So the first, we have the simple to complex. So it is the type of the sequencing method requiring organizations of the content from easy to difficult. Example, tulad na nasabi natin kanina, where teach how to like that. So the second one is we have the prerequisite learning. So this principle is followed by the subject and the course that logics consists of laws and the principle like geometry, algebra, and physics to understand that the laws and the principles students should learn the basic prerequisite knowledge and concept. So the third one is the chronology. It is a type of the sequencing method requiring to teach a simple component, so component skills of the content before moving more complex skills. So for example, the learners need to know how to add, they can understand the concept of multiplication and mathematics. So that is the sequencing curriculum content.
Have a nice day, everyone. I'm your teacher for this topic that is all about systematic instruction by Thomas Good and Herb Ropey in Ornstein and Hanskin 2018. For the introduction, what is systematic instruction? It is a carefully planned sequence for instruction. Ibig sabihin, pinagplanuhan ng mabuti, masusing pinag-aralan ang paraan ng pagtuturo dito. Similar to a builder blueprint for a house, characterize systematic instruction. Kagaya ng builder's blueprint. Sa paggawa ng bahay, kinakailangan yung blueprint na yon para naman maging successful yung pagpapatayo nila ng isang building or yon, bahay. A blueprint is carefully thought out and designed before building materials are gathered and construction begins. Siyempre, yun muna yung mauuna bago pa yung mga building materials at bago pa rin magsisimula yung construction. Here are the systematic instruction. The first is review. Review concept and skills related to homework. Provide review exercise. Yun, unang-una yung review. Kailangan ni-review concept at skills which is related sa homework at nagpo-provide din ng review exercise. The second is development. It promotes student understanding, provide controlled practice. The third one is seat work. Provide uninterrupted seat work, get everyone involved, sustain momentum. Kinakailangan sa pagbibigay ng seat work, dapat hindi sila naiistorbo. Kailangan nakapokus sila. Tapos lahat dapat ay kasama or kabilang to sustain momentum. The fourth one is the accountability. Check the student work. As a teacher, kinakailangan nating i-check yung gawa ng ating mga student upang nang sa ganun ay makita natin kung may natutunan ba sila, kung nakuha ba nila yung tinuro natin sa kanila or naging effective ba yung pagtuturo natin. Kailangan natin maging accountable pagdating sa kanila. The fifth one is homework. Assign homework regularly, provide review. The problem. Kinakailangan nating mag-assign ng mga homework or task or assignment sa kanila regularly para naman hindi sila wala sa tinalakay nating lesson or hindi nila agad makalimutan or else, pagdating na may tuturo tayo sa kanila, mas madali na lang yun para sa kanila dahil natandaan nila. The last is special review. Provide weekly reviewers to check, maintain, and further enhance learning. Sa special review, kailangan weekly, nagpo-provide tayo ng reviewers sa kanila para naman ma-check or ma-maintain at higit lalong-lalo na mas lalo pang mapalawig or mapalago yung kanilang mga kaalaman.
Good day everyone, let us now proceed to the last part of this lesson, which is approaches to a curriculum design models. So we will see what are the approach of a teacher to a particular curriculum, what are their viewpoint to fulfill or to achieve the goal of the curriculum. So there are three types of approach to a curriculum design models. First is the child or learner-centered approach. This approach to curriculum design is based on the underlying philosophy that the child or the learner is the center of educational process. This means the curriculum is constructed based on the needs, interest, purpose, and abilities of the learners, so that they will focus on their own interest and take a legal action of it. The principles of child-centered curriculum approach. First is acknowledge and respect the fundamental rights of the children. The part of the curriculum is to give comfortable environment within the learners so that they will perform the task, anything within the school comfortably. Next is make all the activities revolve in the overall development of the learner. Every activity or task within the school should be meaningful and progressive for them in order to achieve the overall development of the child. Last is consider the uniqueness of every learner in multicultural classroom. As we expected, classroom is diverse. They came from a different practices, cultures, religions, and norms. So this means that they are diverse within the school or the classroom. The next approach is subject-centered approach. This is anchored on a curriculum design which prescribes separate distinct subjects for every educational levels: basic education, higher education, vocational technical education. This approach considers the following principles. Next, the emphasis in the bits and piece information may be detached from life. Memorization and drill are important skills in this approach because intellectual development is focused on this curriculum. Next, the subject matter serves as a means of identifying problems of living. Next, learning means accumulation of content and acknowledgement. This means that subject matter should be mastered because the mastery of the content is both satisfaction for the learners and the teachers. Next is teacher's role is to dispense the contents. This is where the teacher discusses the subject matter so that the learners will understand the content of the subject. And the last curriculum is problem-centered approach. This approaching based on the design which assumes that in the process of living, children experience problem. This problem solving enables the learners to become increased able to achieve complete or total development of an individual. Design to prepare the learners to become an active individual, independent and problem solver of a real life problem. This approach is characterized by the following views and beliefs. First, the learners are capable of directing and guiding themselves in resolving problems, thus developing every learner to be independent. The learners are prepared to assume their civic responsibilities to direct participation in different activities. Civic responsibilities means knowing the law, and also it is also important to participate in different activities that enables them to learn their responsibilities as an individual. And the last one, the curriculum leads the learners in the participation of concerns and problems in seeking solution. Learners are problem solvers themselves. Since it is part of a process of living that experience problem, learners should be able to learn to seek solutions by themselves, or in other words, learners should be able to be a problem solver themselves.